Jesse, ask me what we're going to talk about. We're back.
Today's episode of Canada's Boring is brought to you by Perrier.
It's not.
Perrier.
They're not paying for this. He just has one.
Lee,
Perrier. It's like pop, but with less flavor.
Reese, I see you have a leaf blower attached to your junk. Is this... What's going on here? Also, tell me what's going on today at the same time.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
I wasn't going to either.
Today, we are talking about an unholy marriage between Timothy Hortons and musical theatre.
Are you going to tell me that there is a musical about Tim Hortons? Because I need to watch this immediately.
Yes, there is.
Are you serious?
An unholy marriage between Timothy Hortons and musical theatre.
All right. Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Super bland, cold nuts, super light. A place that's excitement, kryptonite. You may fall asleep with no warning. Because Canada is boring, boring. 'Cause Canada is boring. Canada is boring. So boring. Canada is so fucking boring, boring. A real cool podcast with Reese and Jesse.
Hello and welcome to Canada is Boring. My name is Reese. I've been very ill, Waters. And with me is Jesse.
Jesse's got a new tooth, Harley.
Jesse's got a new tooth, Harley. Lots changed. Lots gone on.
Yeah.
Sorry. So first of all, I've got to apologize. Our episodes have been going out every 2 weeks instead of every week and kind of drip feeding out because
Reese almost died.
I didn't almost die. I was just very ill. I had pneumonia and it was shit. And I remember everywhere you go, pneumonia, big bright lights, neon lights, pneumonia, have pneumonia. You get it. It's nothing like they promised. Shit.
What was it promised? How was it promised to you?
I don't know, but you'd like walk down the strip in Vegas and it's flashing going pneumonia.
You did balloons and like...
You, sir, you look like you need pneumonia. Don't get it. It's a con.
It's a trick.
It's a con.
It's a trap.
My lungs were full of bacteria and fluid.
That sounds so much fun.
And walking upstairs made me nearly pass out.
And you wouldn't go to the hospital. Your wife had to.
No, I did go to the hospital.
No, you didn't want to, though.
I wanted to try and sleep it off.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't sleep for 5 days.
You didn't sleep for 5 days. You didn't eat for 5 days. And your wife finally convinced you to go to the hospital. And you're like, I guess.
Well, yeah.
And then they're like, you're dying.
Do you know what it was, though? Because I hadn't eaten or slept, I wasn't getting better and I could feel myself getting weaker. And I was like, that's not good. Because normally I'm one of those people, I get like ill and I sleep 24 hours and I wake up fine. And this is one of those illnesses that didn't work.
It's actually interesting if I won't go into like thick details of it, but like depending on what you are infected with, like if you're infected with a virus, you need to eat because that's what fuels your immune system, and your immune system is being weakened by the virus. However, if you have a bacterial infection, bacteria eats what you eat. So that if you have a virus, like just a regular virus, cold, flu, whatever, it does not eat the food you eat. It eats you.
Yeah.
Right? And so you need food to be strong to fight the virus. But if you have a bacteria infection, the bacteria will also eat the same food that you eat. So if you fast, it actually is starving the bacteria in you. It's a good thing. It doesn't always, like in your case, didn't work too well.
No. And also, my appetite is still all over the place. I still have to remind myself to eat. I still don't feel that hungry.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
I wish I had that problem.
It's taken me a long...
I eat too much.
I've never been ill in a way that has taken me so long to recover. Yeah, it's been weird. But we're back.
Yay, we're back.
Everything's relatively fine now.
Life is kind of okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a fucking depressing small talk dimension.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah,
in other news...
It was entertaining, though.
I mean, yes, I got very ill. Plus side, I got my dream car, and I'm very happy with it.
I still haven't seen it. You sent me photos. You're supposed to take me. You were going to take me on a
I'm
ride.
sat in traffic getting in and out of downtown, but I'm so happy every day.
I want to go for a ride. I want to go for a joyride in it.
It's well,
if I get my license, will you let me drive?
No.
You didn't even let me finish the sentence.
No. I don't even decided if I'm going to be allowed to sit in it, to be honest.
What?
I'd say to my kids, if you make a mess in the Mustang, then you will be banned for life. So
From the Mustang or from your house?
from the Mustang.
Oh, okay.
They can make a mess in the house. It's fine. Different.
No,
rules.
banned from the house is what I was saying.
Banned from the house. Banished. But no. So So I got pneumonia, but I also got a Mustang. So swings and roundabouts for me.
Dear listener, if you were promised a Mustang and all you had to do was get pneumonia, would you do it?
Yeah.
Would you do it again for a second Mustang race?
I only need one. I'm not
That's what they all say. Give it a year.
I'm not so kind of like demanding that I need 2 Mustangs. One's fine. I can only drive one at a time, so
Not with that attitude.
yeah. Although it is very loud. The exhaust is insane.
On purpose,
It is
though.
insanely.
I gotta sneeze. Hold on.
It's been described as obnoxiously loud.
I can't sneeze.
He's looking into a light. He's trying to sneeze, but then he's looking into a light, and now he's blind.
I'm a photic sneezer.
So yeah, it's good.
I ever tell you that story about the convenience store guy who didn't know he was a photic? Do you know it's a term? It's an actual thing. Photic sneezers. It's and they don't really understand it. A certain population of people, when they need to sneeze, if they look at a bright light, will force them to sneeze. And also sometimes, if they don't need to sneeze and they look at a bright light like the sun, that it'll make you sneeze. And they don't know why. It's a certain percentage of the population. I'm one of them. It's very strange. There's theories like when you were cavemen living in caves. The caves are like full of bacteria and mold and just things like that. Caveman shit. And so like when you walk out into the sunlight is the perfect time to expel all that stuff from your sinuses and not into the area that you're sleeping and living in. So that's like a theory as to why that happens, but we have no idea. And I was younger and I went to a convenience store in my neighborhood, and I was trying to buy something, and the guy, the clerk, the cashier, he stopped and he's trying to sneeze. I'm like he was trying to ring my stuff up, but he had to stop, and he couldn't sneeze, and he kept trying, he couldn't, and he's like, hold on, just one second, I just need to sneeze. And I'm like, there's a window right beside him. I'm like, look at the sun. He's like, what? No, I need to sneeze, just give me a second. I'm like, look at the sun. He's like, what? No, I just need to sneeze. Just give me a second. I just need to sneeze. Hold on.
I love the generic foreign accent.
Thank you. Yeah. and I told him, like, dude,
I come here from Cairo,
Transylvania. And so I told him, like, dude, humor me. Look at the sun. And he just got this weird look on his face, and he turned to the window and he looked out into the sun, and he sneezed immediately, and then he whipped his head back to me. He's like, that's amazing. He had no idea his entire life.
And then he was like, teach me your ways.
And we started
now he follows you around wearing a robe.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I've got him on a leash right here. He's under the table massaging my feet.
Great. Do you want to hear about the unholy matrimony between Tim Hortons and musical theatre?
Yes, I do.
So there was a musical that came out relatively recently called The Last Timbit.
This has got to be like a student production.
No.
Was this officially sanctioned by Tim Hortons?
Yes. It was like an advertising stunt.
Okay, this is cool.
So
right, I'm down for this.
The Last Timbit. This is inspired by real Canadian stories. The Last Timbit follows a group of strangers who wait out the snowstorm of the decade in a Tim Hortons. In this hilarious and heartfelt musical, this unlikely group comes together to explore family and community and finds the best in hard times, all while battling for the last birthday cake Timbit.
I'm not going to lie, Reese. I would watch this. This doesn't sound bad. Like, this sounds kind of wholesome.
I'll tell you about at the center of the strained relationship between single mother Michelle and her distant teenage daughter. When they pull off the road to escape the blizzard, they stumble upon a nearby Tim's and its host of eccentric characters who have already found refuge from the cold. Besties Vince and Nicole are desperately trying to make their way to the party of the year. Ellen and Kathy are old pals who may or may not be running away from a dark secret.
Jesus.
They killed someone.
They murdered someone.
I don't know.
The body's in the trunk.
Make it better, yeah. Anton, an older Tim's regular, strikes up a friendship with Chloe, a lonely working professional trying to fit in at the office. There's a hokey love story too. Who's someone's got a crush on someone who works at Tim's. And so that's the story. I think it'd be better. It would be better if it was the end of the world rather than a snowstorm.
Well, that's a
then
little more
it genuinely
depressing.
would be the last Timbit.
That's good.
Zombieland where he's looking for Twinkies.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I love the Zombieland stuff. But like, that's excellent. That's so much better as a story, but as a company, there's no way they could do that. Do you know what I mean?
Like a virus or a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, couldn't
and they're just literally survivors in a Tim Hortons.
Everything corporations.
Who gets to get the final taste of Canada before there's no Timbits left.
Every corporation has to do their best to not offend anyone in any way, shape, or form. And so it's all very bland.
Yeah.
But that would be a much better idea. Although I got to say, I like this idea.
There's way worse executions of like brands.
So
like,
I want to.
If it was like Mr. Dibsy, the magic Timbit travels to a faraway land to reunite another 9 Timbits in one box.
See, that goes along like an animated Timbit knows that its purpose is to be eaten. I don't like that. It's the same like when you go to the movies these days. They've got in Scotiabank. They've got the animated popcorn kernels. They're all
just get swept up or vacuumed.
Well, no, they're like trying to get to the movie, like
to be eaten.
To be eaten. Yes,
is their final like destiny.
I mean, yes, that's the thing. It's kind of gross. Like they don't show you being eaten, but like
fulfill me.
Yes. So here's my initial thoughts on this old Tim Hortons thing. I used to hang out with Tim Hortons at Tim Hortons back in the day with all my friends.
To hang out with Tim
within Tim Hortons, yeah. At Tim Hortons back in the day when I was a teenager in high school.
So this makes you nostalgic.
Well, a little bit. So like, have you been to Tim Hortons recently? When did this musical happen? By the way,
I was in Tim Hortons last night. My middle son got to Division 1 basketball for his U10 age group. So we took him to Tim Hortons.
Before I ask you, when did this musical come out?
Like a year or two ago.
Okay, that's important. How was the Tim Hortons that you went to? What did it feel? How was the atmosphere?
I went to the drive-thru. So.
No, that doesn't. Did you ever go into a Tim Hortons recently?
If I have to. If the drive-thru is too big. It's rare that I go in and sit in.
The point I'm trying to make is I don't frequent Tim Hortons a lot now, but now and then when I do go inside a Tim Hortons, it feels sad. It just feels sad.
I've seen pictures of old Tim Hortons, and it felt more like a bustling like community.
And it was. You went to like as a teen on lunch break or on like if you had a break in class, like you don't. What is it? Just like I don't go to class this at 1 p.m. afternoon, so I got like an extended lunch or something like that. You go to Tim Hortons with your friends. You get a coffee, you get a cookie, you play some crib, and then after high school, there was like a local Tim Hortons down by what we called Five Corners because there's literally 5 corners in Dartmouth, and this is before there were cell phones, but like before smartphones, before the advent of social media, you wanted to hang out with your friends. You just went to Tim Hortons. You didn't call anybody up. You didn't arrange for a meeting.
Someone would be there.
Not just someone, like everybody.
When I was in similar college, there was a cafeteria and we'd all play cards.
Yeah, and you used to be able to smoke inside of Tim Hortons. Like they would have.
You used to be able to smoke inside of everything.
Yes, that's
including
true.
your mother's womb.
This is an ad break, so please come back. Offering fun things like pillows and crack, razors, fast food, apps and bear traps. Canada might be boring, but these ads will slap.
Thank you for coming back. Did you buy a pillow or some crack? Maybe you had a quick dump or weed. Well, look who is back. It's Susan Jesse.
Ow.
Jesse just pulled a nasal hair out.
It was bugging me.
That's why he was sneezing.
Probably. But I remember being able to smoke in Tim Hortons. I used to smoke and have a coffee. And then at one point when the smoking rules became a little wishy-washy, they put up this big glass divider, and so there was the smoking room and the non-smoking room, and the smoking room's curtains were just yellow.
Yeah.
It was gross, but it was still like you felt like a community. You wanted to interact with other people, even if they weren't your friends. You just knew them, and you could say hi to them. You could sit down and talk for a few minutes. You could play cards. And it was great. And the thing about advertisements is, you don't need to advertise something that is already well established, right? You're trying to get like this. It doesn't feel like Tim Hortons doesn't feel like this anymore.
No,
it used to,
because
it doesn't anymore.
them.
And
they
so
build them in 2 days because they come like in an IKEA set on the back of a truck. The actual buildings they're in.
Really?
Oh, they just slide them together like a giant Lego set.
It just doesn't feel, there's no sense of community anymore. And the people who do sit there all day are the saddest fucking people you've ever seen in your life. And it's just like, they might as well, like the music they're playing, they might as well play it at like half speed.
Joe,
like
I once had to drive to St. John and I got caught in a blizzard and I ended up in an A&W, but...
What was that like? Tell me that story.
I love A&W. It was great.
I also like A&W, but what was that? Tell me. I like the concept of being caught in a place where it's warm and there's food, where there's a blizzard outside, is so nookish to me. I love nooks in general. It's just a thing I love.
I've still got a picture of it. I was still driving my
Tell me the story.
I was driving my
Don't just tell me the story. Relay the story to me, Reese.
Well,
set the tone.
I was driving.
You know what? Can you put some I'm going to pretend this is in the holidays. Put some holiday music to this.
So, it wasn't.
When was it?
I was driving from Halifax to St. John for work, and
can you put some holiday music to this anyway?
The snowstorm hit, and what should have been a 2.5 hour journey ended up being 5 hours. But I was stuck behind the plow on the highway going over the Cobequid Pass. Is it Cobequid Pass? And I was just exhausted because I'd been going so slow. And I was in an old Buick, my old Buick.
God, yeah.
It was a big cream Buick with the comfiest seats ever, with the classic 3800 Buick engine. They've stopped making now, but hadn't changed for like 30, 40 years. It was a great car. And it got me through a blizzard. And then I was like, I saw the glowing orange light of an A&W, and I went there. I ate A&W, had a shit, got back on the highway.
That's the story.
Yeah. No one sang to me. I didn't sing to anyone.
So
no one expressed their inner feelings.
So the story was you stopped in an A&W and took a dump. And this is the story that I asked you to retell with music.
Yeah.
I'm regretting
Well, I did buy a burger first. You don't just go and use the bathroom like that with it. You need to be a patron. Johnny, you're a review of The Last Timbit.
Yes, please.
Okay. So The Last Timbit, this review is so sarcastic. I love it. It's from Joshua Chong, who's the cultural reporter for the Toronto Star. The Last Timbit, the new Tim Hortons musical, may be the brand's worst publicity stunt ever. A who's who of Canadian musical theatre talent can't salvage this 75-minute Tim Hortons ad. It's more sickly sweet than your Canadian maple donut and more greasy and cheesy than your grilled cheese melt. And its mawkish sentimentality, I think, was supposed to move me to tears, left me colder than a frozen iced cappuccino on a sweltering summer's day. Your brand has been all about innovations, but I'm afraid your latest, let's call it a theatre theatre with ad in the middle, is nothing more than a painful dud. At worst, I have grave concerns about what this new form of corporate meddling in the arts means for this country's precarious theatre sector itself. I'm already dreading the day where we have a new Loblaws musical, or worse, one with Air Canada as its title producer. So
the Air Canada
what a great review.
That was great. Now I'm trying to think of what a Loblaws and what
good work, Joshua Chong.
Air Canada, great review. What would an Air Canada musical be like? It was just like
it's a terrible plane crash, and they've got to decide who they're going to eat to survive, like the film Alive.
Yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah, exactly. Loblaws would be like Silent Green. Have you seen that film?
No, but
Silent
I know
Green
the concept.
So it was done. There's a marketing firm called Gut, and this was the Tim Hortons gave Gut a lot of creative freedom to come up with something different. And then somebody came up with this. Let's do a musical, and the ad agency kind of worked to produce it with a bunch of like top theater producers. And
I feel like this might have been better if it wasn't a musical. Like if it was just a straight up play with the people in Tim Hortons, that might have been a little better. The fact that they try to sing, like if I'm sitting in a Tim Hortons and someone just starts breaking out into song, I'm leaving. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to stick around and watch.
They're going to call the mental health crisis team.
If one person starts singing, someone's going to call the mental health crisis team. If one person starts singing and everyone joins in,
you're in Newfoundland.
That was quick.
Thank you.
That was good.
I was stuck at an airport once, and there was a bunch of Newfoundland people. Newfies, is it okay to say Newfies?
Yeah, totally.
They like that term.
Yeah.
And they were singing. It was wonderful.
Really?
They all knew the words.
Oh, that's nice.
I just sat there and enjoyed the human warmth.
That's nice.
I didn't join in, but I didn't know the words.
Yeah.
I didn't know the words.
That's Newfoundland for you, though.
But somebody else, Intermission Magazine, said it's surprisingly charming, and if you don't take it too seriously, then you can enjoy it. But I totally understand where Joshua was coming from, saying like, is the future of Canadian theatre corporate meddling, telling story? You know, it's like what's his name?
If you can't get funding for theatre,
Jerry Seinfeld did the was it Pop-Tarts?
Oh yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there was that fake movie about Doritos. There wasn't a real story about the history of Doritos.
Don't remember that at all.
There seems to be brand stories and now like coming out as movies and stuff. It's very weird.
It is. Yeah, I mean, like corporations try to pretend to be people, and it's very funny.
But our culture is now like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to Flaming Hot? That was it. It was a story about the behind the scenes story of how Flaming Hot Doritos.
Oh yeah, it was like
exist.
wasn't it a documentary?
It was like a docudrama.
Docudrama. Was it funded by Doritos though?
Probably.
Because that's
how could it not have been funded
right?
by Doritos?
Yeah, that's interesting. You know,
it's like our culture. All the stories, like more and more stories, are being permeated by brand placements.
You ever watched you saw The Social Network, the movie?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, there's no way this is funded by Facebook.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's why it was called The Social Network.
Well, they say the name Facebook 1,000 times in the movie.
I don't think it wasn't. I mean, it didn't make Zuckerberg look good.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did they get permission to do this?
I don't know.
He wants to make a sequel to it. The director, I forget the name of the director.
Instagram?
No, like about how the Social Network influenced the elections in 2016. That's what the director wants to make a movie about.
That would be a good movie.
It'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit late. Could have done with it before the 2024 presidential election.
All right.
It's all good. But yeah.
I want to see this. Is this online anywhere?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be touring. You can always check.
Is it still play? Are they still performing?
It says it was created to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Tim Hortons.
That's kind of sweet.
It's based on a true story.
Is it really?
I don't know. They said that at the beginning of what's that Coen Brothers movie?
There's a lot of those.
Oh, the one with the amazing one with the with Steve Buscemi.
Oh, Fargo.
Yes, they said that at the beginning of Fargo, and apparently a woman died looking for the money.
Oh,
so
so in other words, the based on a true story means there was a blizzard once.
Sometimes, yes, there was a blizzard, and people were in a Tim Hortons during a blizzard. So I'm going to start writing the A&W musical based on my experience.
Please do. Please do. Oh my God.
That'd be so funny.
This burger is delicious. Where is the bathroom?
Sponsored by A&W and Buick.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. So what's the call to action, Jesse? I sat on my foot and he's gone to sleep.
Do you want, I can get my guy under the table here to start rubbing your feet instead.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Keep your
He's under there.
I don't want anything to do with your disciple. Robed disciple.
Wait, he disrobes whenever he gets out of the table.
Great.
It's just part
Wonderful.
of our deal.
I'm very happy about a few.
Call to action. Let's see. We haven't. Have we had any new reviews? We kept asking for reviews.
No reviews. Give us reviews.
We haven't had any. Have you checked? Because
Yeah.
I don't check them because they're depressing.
We don't pod-
Although we did get a review. We got an email. It wasn't a review. We got an email that was all about you, and it was great.
Did we?
It was really funny. It was a while ago.
I didn't see that.
I was going to bring it up like a month ago, but you've been dying with the plague.
Was it just criticizing me?
Yeah, it was really funny.
Why don't
Made
be
me
don't be
happy.
Good. That's good. I'm happy that you're happy. We had that
I don't look at the reviews. So like I keep asking for reviews, but I don't check them. I'm hoping that you check them because
yeah.
you're made of sterner stuff than I am.
I don't care what people think, so it's fine.
Are you looking at our reviews right now?
No, we had a bunch of messages from people asking to review their books and stuff.
We had one guy.
Oh, hang on. No, we had a message to our website from somebody called Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, this is Matt from PEI. I just finished listening to your most recent episode on Canada's king of drunk driving. In the 90s, I dated a woman from Florida, and she told me she'd only heard of PEI because of doing a project about drunk driving. Apparently, PEI was the worst province per capita. I looked it up before writing this message, and apparently we still are. In fact, a 72-year-old man hit a cyclist recently while drunk. It's mainly a rural issue, so you better be wary when out enjoying our red dirt roads. On a side note, I've been excitedly waiting for your podcast and Keep Canada Weird to have some crossover just so I had to message for a sticker. So
Nice. Are
So
we
you want-
doing it? Did you reach out to them yet?
I did, and then I got ill, and I haven't spoken to many people, to be honest.
That's
so,
true,
yeah.
Right.
There's
All
a
right.
few Canadian podcasts we're hoping to do crossovers with.
If you have a Canadian podcast, give us a call. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt, for your message. Really appreciate that. You can leave us a message on our website, CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.com, because we haven't changed the URL. Or you can also leave us a SpeakPipe, which is like an anonymous voicemail at speakpipe.com/CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.
No, it's Canada's.
It's Canada. You changed it.
I think I changed
Speakpipe.com/CanadaIsBoring. And did we get any SpeakPipes?
You can leave voicemail. No, we haven't, but you can leave voicemail
God
message.
damn it, people.
What?
Anyway, thank you so much for your message, Matt. We appreciate it. Yeah, leave us, you know what? Get in touch with us. Leave us a review, leave us a message, leave us a SpeakPipe, and we'll read it on the air.
Let us know you're still out there. You're still listening. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks so much for sticking us in your ear holes all snug like that. I've been Jesse. This has been Reese. This has been Canada's Boring.
I'm still alive.
And you've been great.
Bye.
Bye.
Super cool, they're much too polite. A place that's excitement, quick